not good. Nearly upwards of 1 million people waiting to cross the border into the U.S. It's being reported that this includes cartel members, people that have been released from prison, and as the date Title 42 coming to a near end, the number is growing rapidly. Nearly 1 million unknowns about ready to flood the U.S. More information you guys need to know about this. If you guys happen to be brand new here, welcome to our awesome community where we do prepping tips, emergency preparedness how-tos, and we give you awareness that may affect you. If you happen to find value in that, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Now, we're talking about 1 million people about ready to flood into the U.S. Breitbart goes over it in detail. We'll go over that, but you've got a lot of news agencies admitting that it's at least 700,000 and growing. Many people are concerned about how many cartel members are crossing the border as well, along with people that have been released from prison to cross the United States border. What a perfect way to get rid of your inmates. Free pass to the United States out of your country. You no longer have to feed them, take care of them, empty your prisons. And as we think the border is under control, even Fox News says border under control of cartels, not the U.S. Yuma residents say as gangs rake in billions off of human smuggling. Even the New York Post put it out. Yuma, Arizona residents, officials say Mexican cartels control the U.S. border. So how do you guys see this playing out? 1 million unknowns crossing the U.S. border, lots of Chinese men, military age. Does that seem suspicious to you? What is Title 42 and why is it ending? Title 42, the rule used immediately to expel migrants, will end this week. U.S. officials expect illegal crossing to increase, placing additional strain on the already overtaxed system. Breitbart's article reads, Title 42 countdown, 700,000 migrants in Mexico waiting to rush the U.S. border. And like I said, when they say migrants, we don't know who they are. As many as 700,000 migrants, a foreign population larger than Boston, Massachusetts, are currently in Mexico waiting to rush the United States-Mexico border when President Joe Biden ends the public health authority known as Title 42 on May 11th. And that's crazy, and this is really happening. In 2020, in the midst of the Chinese pandemic crisis, former President Donald Trump invoked the public health authority known as Title 42 at the border, ensuring the federal immigration officials have been able to quickly return millions of illegals, ensuring that federal immigration officials have been able to quickly return millions of illegal aliens to Mexico over the last 3 years. On May 11th, though, Biden will end the Title 42 and expand its catch and release network to quickly move border crossers and illegal aliens to the U.S. interior, including deploying 1,500 U.S. troops to the border to free up federal immigration officials to process arrivals at a faster pace. Tell me what you guys think about this. So, we're going to process them in, integrate them quickly, probably bust them across the United States. You're probably going to get 100,000 of them in your city. Interesting that they're going to relieve the Border Patrol folks and integrate in 1,500 U.S. troops under who knows what umbrella and who knows what guidelines. It's adding up to sound really fishy already. During a Yuma County Board of Supervisors meeting this week, Supervisor Jonathan Lines revealed that the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, officials have warned them that as many as 700,000 migrants are waiting in Mexico to rush the U.S. border when Title 42 ends. And this is no joke. There are reportedly 700,000 waiting. So what do you think the real number is? And how many do you think that is increasing by the day? Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against anyone coming across the border legally, like everyone else has had to do. But the fact of the matter here that concerns me the most is the cartel and the prisoners that have been released and the military fighting age Chinese and all of the other people that have come in from around the world to the open door through the Mexico border. Lines said they also shared with us that at the Darien Gap, which is the Panama Canal they've seen a 500% surge in people crossing over that gap on their way to the United States. Like I said, this number is growing by the hour. In some areas, a 500,000% increase. And think about this. This is just the first wave. Representative Andy Biggs, Republican of Arizona, office confirmed to Breitbart News that they too have been told by officials of a looming 700,000 migrants waiting in Mexico. These could be folks from all around the world, and bad folks too. Such a mass migration event, as Line said DHS officials called it, would see foreign population arriving at the border that exceeds the resident population of the cities like Boston, Nashville, and Tennessee. So as you can see, El Paso, Texas, on May 3rd of 23, you can see all the folks in El Paso, Texas. Guys, these are not the folks that live there. These are all migrants that have crossed the border, have no place to live, that need to be fed, and may be waiting for the next bus to bus them to a city near you. Look down this alley. There are hundreds of folks, street by street, just calling it home, enjoying the freedom of the U.S. Many of them have no place to go, don't necessarily know where to get their next meal. I'm sure that we'll take care of that also, as our tax has already gone through the roof. Guys, prepare for it to go up even more, because we're going to need to take care of probably another million folks here in the coming days. And I'm sure in a week or a month, that'll grow to 2 million. Especially after everyone hears that everyone's crossing. This is what your city might look like soon. Lots of this. People making camps on the side of the road and herds of folks walking around because they were able to finally come across the border in masses. Now, offhand, these folks look like the regular migrants that you would expect. But like I said, many reports of cartels joining this movement, released prisoners joining this movement. The article goes on to read, right now, all the people are coming across the border. 40% of them are expelled under the Title 42 in Yuma, Arizona, Line said. So 40% of the people coming across are immediately expelled, and they're flown back to their countries of origin. That goes away on May 11th. They are no longer processed out. That's right. We're going to have new neighbors, and they might be camped in your front yard, and you probably can't do anything about it. Yuma County Sheriff Leon Wilmot noted that his law enforcement officers have their hands tied, unable to apprehend and detain border crossers and illegal aliens, as federal law would have them charged with kidnapping. Like I said, these folks might be camping in your yard, and the law cannot do anything about it because they could get fined for kidnapping. How do you guys feel about that one? Put it down in the comments. You guys might want to share this video because I don't think people know that this is happening. In quotes, if we could arrest, I would fill the jail in a day with the amount of individuals that we encounter trespassing, Wilmot said. Also in quotes, international labor organizations and the cartels are facilitating this trade. Lines noted. They are making a significant amount of money. 27 million were forced into labor over the last 2 years, and 6.3 million forced into exploitation. Americans in the U.S. border towns like Yuma are especially hard hit by the illegal immigration. How would that make you feel if you guys lived down there and were experiencing all this firsthand? Would you leave? I mean, what would you do? I can tell you what, if you're anywhere near this, or anywhere in general, you might want to take consideration in making sure that you're protected, if you know what I mean. Because like I said, out of 1 million people, it's expected that a high percentage is going to be some bad folks. In February, Dr. Robert Trenchell of the Yuma Regional Medical Center detailed how in just 1 year, local taxpayers were left with $26 million in unpaid medical bills from border crossers and illegal aliens who showed up to the hospital and needed care. That amount is set to increase, Trenchell said, when Title 42 ends. Like I said, who is going to be the folks that have to foot the bill on another million to probably 5 million over the next month or two? All the needs, all the medical stuff, these folks are going to need to be housed, fed. Who's going to pay for that? You guessed it. Following the Title 42's end, close to 400,000 border crossers